A polar orbit is one in which a satellite passes above or nearly above both poles of the body being orbited on each revolution. It therefore has an inclination of 90 degrees to the equator. A satellite in a polar orbit will pass over the equator at a different longitude on each of its orbits. Polar orbits are often used for Earth mapping, Earth observation, capturing the Earth as time passes from one point, reconnaissance satellites, as well as for some weather satellites. The Iridium Satellite constellation also uses a polar orbit to provide telecommunications services. The disadvantage to this orbit is that no one spot on the Earth's surface can be sensed continuously from a satellite in a polar orbit. Near-polar orbiting satellites commonly choose a Sun-Synchronous Orbit, meaning that each successive orbital pass occurs at the same local time of day. This can be particularly important for applications such as remote sensing atmospheric temperature, where the most important thing to see may well be changes over time which are not aliased onto changes in local time. To keep the same local time on a given pass, the orbit must be as short as possible. This is achieved by keeping the orbit as low as possible. However, very low orbits of a few hundred kilometers rapidly decay due to drag from the atmosphere. A commonly used altitude is approximately 1000 km, which produces an orbital period of about 100 minutes. The half-orbit on the Sun side then takes only 50 minutes, during which local time of day does not vary greatly. To retain the Sun-synchronous orbit as the Earth revolves around the Sun during the year, the orbit of the satellite must precess at the same rate, which is not possible if the satellite were to pass directly over the pole. Because of the Earth's equatorial bulge, an orbit inclined at a slight angle is subject to a torque which causes precession. An angle of about 8 degrees from the pole produces the desired precession in a 100-minute orbit. A satellite can hover over one polar area much of the time, albeit at a large distance, using a polar highly elliptical orbit with its apogee above that area. See also, List of orbits, Molniya orbit, Vandenberg AFB, a major United States launch location for polar orbits. References. External links, Orbital Mechanics.